This has to be one of the scariest women to ever exist. All Mona Fandey had ever wanted was fame, so when her music career failed, naturally, she turned to witchcraft. Her and her husband were actually quite successful in this business and serviced many elite customers in Malaysia. And in July of 1993, a politician sought the help of Mona and her husband to boost his political career. So as instructed, he arrived at Mona's house around 10 p.m. and was brought to a room where this cleansing ritual would take place. During this ritual, the politician was told to lay face up, close his eyes, and picture money falling from the sky. And while he lays there with his eyes closed, picturing money falling from the sky, an axe does instead. Mona's assistant swings an axe 3 times before finally separating the politician's head from his body. He's then partially skinned and dismembered into 18 precise pieces. Now, after this has taken place, Mona steals the politician's money and goes on a shopping spree. She buys herself new luxury clothing, a brand new Mercedes-Benz, and a facelift. The politician, on the other hand, is reported missing after not showing up to important business meetings. And a little while later, Mona's assistant is stopped by police on totally unrelated charges, but comes clean to officers, telling them what they had done to this man. The assistant leads authorities to a shed on Mona's property where the politician's remains were buried, but they don't find all 18 pieces of him, leaving some to speculate that Mona and her husband ate them. Mona, her husband, and her assistant are all arrested and charged with murder, which carries an automatic death sentence in Malaysia. But that didn't bring her down. For every hearing, Mona showed up in bright, colorful clothing and always had this huge smile on her face. She even signed autographs for crowds gathering outside. She had finally gotten the fame she had always dreamed of. When she was sentenced to death, her response was, quote, "I'm happy with the decision. I want to thank all Malaysians. I love all the people." And just before she was hanged, her last words were, "I will never die."
I really think that we live in a matrix at times. Because, this can't be all just digital artifacts. It can't. You would think with the technology that we have, we would be able to capture real humans without all of the digital pixelization. Like, look at her. Her hands are human-like, but her face is still digital. This is something wrong with it.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Santa María, Madre de Dios, ruega por nosotros pecadores. ¡Es el diablo! ¡Protégenos, Señor, Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo! Santificado sea tu nombre.
Kalian tinggal di sini ya?
Iya, di lubang itu hangat.
Gak takut gelap?
Kalau bareng-bareng enggak?
Mau pegang sebentar?
Boleh.
Lembut banget kalian.
This Indonesian girl discovered two tuyul at the base of a large tree while returning home from her grandmother's house one evening. Tuyul are small humanoid spirit entities documented across Indonesia. They are rarely encountered in the wild. They are traditionally kept as servants and are known to steal on behalf of their owners. These two appear to have no keeper. I don't speak the Indonesian language, but tone carries most of the meaning, and I was able to understand about 90% of what was said. I will now summarize the interaction. The tuyul acknowledged the tree as their home. When asked if they feared the dark, one responded, "Not when we are together." The girl requested permission to touch one of them, and the tuyul allowed it. The locals tried to find the tuyul after the girl's interaction, but the tuyul have not been seen again.
شو هلا انت الذي مصباح قاف هذا عمي صار له 1000 سنة محبوس 1000 سنة
شو حرف قاف هذا عليه؟ في قاف؟
جزم قاعد بإشي عيون حمر ببينن وبيختفن إيه؟ يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله عمي هذا شكله عفريت ضي جد شو مرعب يا الله
يا الله معقول بأدي إبراهيم؟
يا عم أنت لست داخل الإسلام أليس كذلك؟
This is the only footage that shows what actually comes through when the door opens all the way. Not spirits, not lights in the trees. Something with a body being pulled out by hand. Anthropologists have documented rites like this across isolated regions of the rainforest for generations, always second-hand, always denied when asked directly. Nobody's ever explained why this particular practice requires physical contact. This footage might be the reason nobody wanted to explain. Every tradition that practices this rite agrees on one detail. The tree doesn't give something up easily. What comes through fights the opening the same way a body fights the surface of water it's been under too long. This isn't a spirit gliding out. This is something being dragged by someone who's done this enough times to know exactly how hard to pull. A door doesn't ask what's on the other side before it opens. That's the shaman's job. And the ones who do this for a living have a saying. You don't summon the dead back through wood. You negotiate with whatever decided to answer. Every witness account describes the same order of events. First contact through the bark, then resistance. Real physical resistance, like the tree itself doesn't want to let go. And only after that does the shape start to take on a face. Researchers who've studied this called the final stage by one term: off the record. Reclamation, not summoning. Reclaiming something that was never supposed to leave. Nobody's asked what happens if the tree ever stops.